Today I'm here with Cody Johnson, the owner of Smoke and Spice Cajun BBQ. Cody, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
So tell me your story.
So I've been trying to build this business up for about 5 years now, probably down 6. Now we're in 2026. It all started with me just having a great passion for just cooking and everything like that. I got into it because my mom kind of helped me, inspired me to become a cook in a way, because she grew up on a farm up in Idaho in Rexburg, and she learned all sorts of different techniques and canning from her grandmother. From her mom, who is my grandmother, and she has passed that down, kind of that knowledge down to me, which is kind of an honor, honestly, because I'm passing down a family tradition that is slowly being lost. Not many people these days actually can and preserve foods. The way I kind of preserve foods for my business is I smoke my meats for a long period of time. About a max from probably as little as 3 hours up to maybe 8 hours, depending on what the product is.
Fascinating. Mm-hmm. So tell me about your relationship with craft show and farmer market. Because why do you come to those markets to sell your product? Why not go to a food truck area?
Well, the thing is, I'm not rich. I have come from a family that's not wealthy, but we're not exactly poor either. We're kind of the middle working class. And I especially come from my dad's side of the family, where he grew up in kind of the southern part of California, of Long Beach. And his growing up with his siblings and his parents, they didn't grow up very rich either. So my dad had a goal for when he married my mom and started having us, is that he would work hard so he could provide for us, so we would never have to worry about getting food on the table. We would always have what we need. And that's what I inspired to do for myself in my own life, especially for when I get married and have kids. I want to provide that because my dad is such a huge inspiration in my life for that.
That was a powerful story. Mm-hmm. And why do you pick craft show to come? Why? Is there a reason behind that?
Yes, so I go to craft shows and farmers markets and such like that to kind of help promote and advertise my business and to reach out to the general public, the local people of Utah, saying, hey, this is something I'm really passionate about. This is something I do. I hope you're interested in it, and maybe we can do something to help serve you, maybe through catering or just right here. This is an event. Just get you some good barbecue and get you fed and make you happy.
I see. So you not only doing it to sell your product, you're doing it as a way of outreach to further expand your business.
Yeah.
How do you pick your market? How do you find them?
I usually go through social media or word of mouth through other vendors. Because when I first started, I was going to this commissary in Salt Lake City called Square Kitchen. A great little commissary. I was there for since May 1st of 2025, and then I left there about at the November 1st of 2025, switching to different kitchens and down into Woods Cross. But the time I was there, I met a lot of really good other food truck vendors who have been doing their business for 10 years or more. And so they were willing to give me a hand and help me out and help me get some good advice of where you can find good events and how to make the most of your business and how is the best way to make your business the most profitable. And so I am so grateful that I've met those people, and I still have friendship and connections with those people because of that, because they are such good people. Because they are not only just there to make money for themselves, they are also there to serve the community and the general public, because they are also constantly serving, doing charity events and also food drives for people in need. And I hope one day I can be a part of that too when I become bigger like they can.
Totally. And I'm assuming the ambition for you is to eventually get a food truck or maybe open a
Yes.
restaurant. Is that the goal?
Yeah, so right now my setup is just this 10 by 10 canopy you see here, pop up that I do at my events. I can do it indoors, outdoors. Of course, through the warmer seasons, it's outdoors. But yeah, the ultimate goal is to get a food truck eventually, which I hopefully will get to that point, but it's going to take a couple years to get to that point because it's been a little really slow and a bit rough as is to expected when you first start out in a business. Because you ask in any business in any category of trade, it's not going to take off immediately. It takes time and preparation and just constant vigilance of just letting people know this is what you do and what you can do for them that will greatly benefit them as well as yourself.
I love barbecue, but I don't think I have that much. I don't think I ate that much Cajun barbecue before. Tell me the process on how you make your food.
So the process of how I make my food, it comes from the deep knowledge of my culinary experience background. I went to culinary school at the Davis Technical College in Kaysville, Utah for 2 years. And before that, I was in a lot of cooking classes in my senior year of high school, and then when I graduated high school, I did my second year of culinary school. And then once I graduated from my culinary school and got a certificate of completion, I started going out in the field and trying to find where I belong in this career. And I found that in catering kitchens is where I belong. And I also worked for like other food trucks that have come and gone. This one business I worked for was called Fat Man Little Boy's Barbecue. They specialized in making a Carolina-style barbecue, which includes like a lot of like strong flavors that include like vinegar and spices, and it's just a lot of good stuff that but from working for them, I learned how to smoke meats and how to handle brisket, how to trim it, and just the whole process of it. Because smoking meats in America dates back to the Native Americans, who originally did it to help preserve food for a long time, and also so that they would have food throughout the cold winters that happen throughout the United States, especially far up north in like Alaska, Canada, and such like that. That was a crucial thing for their survival. And so when Europeans came down into the United States and they learned how to do what they do with the Native Americans and were taught, they kind of enveloped that into a lot of European style cuisines. Like, for example, I have a strong German and Dutch heritage in my family. And as you know, both of those cultures involve like sausages, for example. So smoked sausages was introduced into the Americas. And andouille sausage is a great example for that, because somewhere on the line, probably my ancestors or some relative down the line who came down to the South in Texas or down to Louisiana came over with some sausages from their culture and learned the technique of how to smoke and preserve meats. And they took that into their sausages, allowing them to have a unique, delicious, smoky flavor that added more depth and a little bit more culture, I guess, into the Americas. Because as you know, it's a melting pot of cultures here in the United States. There's never just one culture. And that's how it is for Cajun cuisine. Because you have the African American, you have the Native American, which were the Creoles in the time in Louisiana. And then you have the French, who inspired the cuisine of Cajun in the first place. Because before the French came along, it was just the Native Creole cuisine. And it wasn't until the African American slaves that were brought over from slavery It was an unfortunate dark part in our past, and I wish it really wasn't. But there were some good things that came from it, because when the slaves were brought over to the United States, they also brought over their culture from South Africa, which put another depth of layer to the culture pot of the United States in Louisiana. So with that, it's just, there's beauty in it, almost.
So when you are getting ready to come to a market like this, what does your menu look like? What do you cook?
So I mainly will focus on doing smoked meats mostly, because my menu consists of a blend of Texan-style barbecue and Cajun cuisine. So let's do our brisket, for example. So our brisket is smoked with a mesquite wood smoke for 8 hours. But the seasoning on it is a Cajun seasoning. So having the blend of having the Texan-style barbecue techniques of making brisket in a smoker, but with the flavors of New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Putting that together, and it's something different. It's something very special. It's something that really stands out, because you won't be able to get that at any smokehouse here in Utah. I'm the only one doing this kind of thing in Utah.
I know sometimes you go to a market, there's a lot of people you're buying,
Yeah.
but some market you go to, you don't sell as much, especially with food. What do you do when you go to a market and maybe you sell half of the food? What do you do with the rest of the food? What do you do with that?
Usually I can save it for another day, thanks to the freezer and also to the preservation of having smoked items. Like I said, smoke is used as a preservation. So I can use it again at a later date, maybe next day or sometime next week. It's good for at least 2 weeks until I have to toss it.
So you're not worried about wasting food as much as
not as much
as
no,
a bakery person.
Yeah, but as long as I sell a good amount of my meats, because that's my greatest cost. Because if nobody buys from me that whole time at the market, I have wasted my time and my money, because it is not easy running a business like this, especially nowadays in today's economy, where inflation is skyrocketing and the prices for food and housing and everything else is just so high. And it makes it really hard for a young person like me who's 27 years old and trying to move out of my parents' house and try to make a living in the culinary industry. And there's more higher costs than there is income, and it's just very challenging to do that, which is why I'm trying to put this business kind of aside for now and focus on something that's more profitable in the meantime, to help me over time I can focus on this business more.
If someone is watching this, how can they support you? Do you have a website?
I
Facebook page?
You can support me by placing a catering order with me, or come visiting my events and getting food from me. So you can find my website through our Google page, or through our Facebook or Instagram account. So you can, and the address on that is smoke-and-spice-catering.square.site. And you can go on there. You can take a look at our menu items and our business policy of doing business with us through catering. And you can shoot me an email or give me a call or text me and see what we can do for you.
Cody, it's nice chatting with you, man.
You as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.